Hi, my name is Gwen Peterson. I'm a health coach with Take Shape for Life, and this video is my end of week 3 video regarding shifting from the 5 and 1 to the 4 and 2 to compensate for deciding to hit the gym. I finally decided that if I was going to be close to my goal weight, instead of getting to my goal weight and being thin and flabby, I was going to start hitting the gym and become toned and fit by the time I hit my goal weight. So my history with the program, for those of you that haven't seen these videos so far, is I found the program in June of 2013, so last summer, and I originally started the year at 195 pounds, and I'm 5'3", and then did a couple funky little things and lost a little bit of weight. So when I started June 1st, I was at 181 pounds, and I just plugged along through the program, did not exercise at all, and got down to 136 pounds. And I knew I still had, a little bit of the spare tire down below, little areas that I knew that it was going to take about another 10, 12 pounds to get where I felt like when I slid a pair of jeans on, I wasn't feeling like I had little saddlebag things hanging out in different places. So, but unfortunately, the week of Halloween, I ended up getting an injury on my eyeball, which ended up turning into shingles, blowing up all over my eyeball, prednisone, all sorts of medications. So the months of November, December, I don't quite know what was going on. And so I got back on the program January 1st-ish, when I started actually feeling like I was decent enough to not throw up when I wasn't eating French bread to hold all the medications down. So I knew I'd blown up. I didn't get on the scale. I just decided I'm just going to get back on plan. So once I kind of got in the groove in January, I decided February 1st to start hitting the gym. And I knew, because I wear a polar heart rate monitor, I knew that when I hit the gym, I was burning between 2,200 and 2,800 calories a day. And that's when I'm exercising. And when you're eating on the 5 and 1, it's just not enough food. So the first week, though, something I found interesting compared to now this week that this week I completed is week 1, when I started doing the 4 and 2, I decided to try alternate options of lean, because I just didn't feel like eating a heavy lean and green at lunch and then dinner. And so the first couple of days I tried to do things like cottage cheese and things like that. And I found it just wasn't enough protein for me. So once by the end of that week, I shifted to chicken breasts or things like that for my lean, it balanced me out a lot better. So I started going through the process. Well, last week I had a couple of crazy days. So I was using things like the Carb Smart yogurt from Kroger's that Nutrition Support says we can use as a snack, but it has 9 grams of protein. So like I'd eat 2 of those throughout the day along with my lean and green that night. And that was giving me enough protein to continue through as a 4 and 2. So my results this last week, and I wish you guys could see where I was when I started 3 weeks ago to now, but when I have no clothes on, it's the weirdest thing. I can actually finally see that there's muscles underneath there, and it's kind of like I can see muscles with the surrounding fat, where normally when you have that layer of fat on you, you can't see muscles showing. But like now on my arms, when I lift my arms up, and it's kind of hard to see in this video, but I'm starting to get a little bit of definition here, and that's only in 3 weeks. And then in my stomach, when I have nothing on my stomach, you can start seeing the lines in my stomach. So here are my results so far. And this is, again, what I love about what I'm doing here is from, February 3rd, so 2014, to today, which is February 24th, I am down 4 pounds. So that's not a lot. A lot of people would be frustrated with that, but I know that I'm building muscle. But here's the exciting part of this is from last week to this week, I have lost, let me look at my little sheet so I can see, in my ribs, for some crazy reason, I am down, well, actually from the beginning, I am down in my chest an entire inch now. My ribs, which I always say is right underneath my chest line, and it includes that nice big back fat, I am down 2.5 inches in my rib cage. It's crazy. I now feel like I can wear tighter shirts and not have that fat bubble going around my bra. So just to tell you, this is working for me. Then in my my waist is 1.25, which again for me is my smallest part of my waist. Then my stomach is my biggest part, which I've lost 0.75. Then my hips, I've now continued to get smaller. So I've now down 1.25, and my inner thigh 0.5. So my only sad news is the only place I'm not losing is that weird fat chunk on the insides of my knee, which I might be visiting that Sono Bello place where they laser the fat someday. I don't know. Anyway, but the crazy thing is I now today put my measurements against my measurements the week that I got sick, because I am very faithful about getting on the scale once a week and also measuring, because with this program, because it is burning our fat, the scale is not the measure, people. It is really the measuring tape. So commit to yourself to measure every single week so you really know what's going on with your body. But so this is what's interesting for me. So at this point, I am 3 pounds away from where I was when I got sick. And that 3 pounds is going to end up, what the difference is, I still have another 0.75 across my chest. My ribs only 0.5. My waist is still another 3/4 of an inch. My stomach 3/4 of an inch. My hips 3/4 of an inch, and my thigh 0.5. But at some point, I'll have to kind of look at the photos, because I also got very consistent on taking photos in a bikini top and bottom, which you will never see me in public. I don't care how skinny I get and in shape. I will never wear it out in public because I just won't. But for me, it's a good measure on photos. And what's really interesting is, yes, my inches still are not where I was the week of Halloween, but I wasn't going to the gym. And so I'm going to next week measure or take a photo of when I was at Halloween, not exercising at the same weight, which I believe I'll be there next week. And I can guarantee the measurements or the muscles between those two photos, even though my inches are going to be identical, I know are going to be very different, because I can already see, like in my neck, and I don't know if you go back to videos or photos that I did back then, I can see that my neck has gotten smaller. And what's really interesting is in the last couple of weeks, this right here seems to be getting a little bit saggier, but it's because now my skin is starting to pull. So that's the only place that little skin of fat, it's really weird how I watch every week my body shifting. So my point of this being is that the 4 and 2 is working for me. It is giving me the extra protein that I need. And also the last thing I'll end with is on Saturday, I decided it was a day I was not going to the gym. So I wore my heart rate monitor, and I haven't worn it on a day that I haven't gone to the gym in a really long time. And it was really interesting to me. But on the day of sitting in meetings for 4 hours, sitting in the car for 2 hours, going back and forth to the meeting, and then just doing random stuff, nothing very big around the house, I burnt 2,200 calories that day, never having gone to the gym. So knowing that my body's already, that muscle that I'm building, they say that only 5 extra pounds of muscle automatically burns 250 calories at a resting heart rate a day. So that's why muscles are important, for us to metabolize the fat even faster. So I just thought I'd find that interesting. I hope this was a good recap for you, and you'll hear from me next week at the end of my week 4 results here. Have a great week. Bye-bye.